All right, here we go. I'm going to do men's fantasy reselects for Margaret River. And this video will self-destruct in like less than an hour. So I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible. It's recorded, so here we go. And the women's heats are out now. It's going to be, I think I have like an hour. So you may be seeing this after it's posted, but here are my fantasy reselects, and I've tried to stay with the original team that I had. I didn't have either Yagodora or Mickey McDonough. I'm going to pass, but I think Yagodora will maybe take that. I almost picked Mikey McDonough for the upset because Jackson Baker was so high on him, and he served really well in his heat, in that elimination heat. Cole Houshman, Griffin Colapinto. I took Griff. I'm staying with Griff. I like him in these conditions. Leonardo Fioravanti. I'm taking Ian Gentile against Leo. I can't believe I'm doing that, but Ian Gentile looked so comfortable in Big Surf. I'm going with Ian Gentile in Tier C. Moving on, Miguel Pupo, George Batar. That's a good heat. I like Miguel there just for the big wave experience, but that's a tough heat to call. Kanoa and Winter Vincent. I almost went Winter Vincent there for an upset, but Kanoa's being coached by Jake Patterson, and he's been looking good lately. Moving on, here is one of the best heats, I think, in this whole side of the draw. Connor O'Leary and Liam O'Brien. I'm foolishly taking Connor O'Leary in Tier B, although I really like Lobby here. Lobby is not afraid of these waves, and I think on his forehand's probably an advantage, but we're going to see. Jake Marshall, Sammy Pupo. That's a hard pass for me. That's a grudge match, but I think Jake Marshall has the edge. Baron Mamiya, Ian Govea. Didn't touch this heat. I think Baron Mamiya will probably win that heat. He looked pretty good in his elimination round, by the way. And now to the other side of the bracket. So that's one side of the bracket. I only have 3 picks on the, let's call it, left side of the bracket. On the right side of the bracket, it starts with Elo Fajeda and Jacob Wilcox. And if you're subscribed to the Current Surf Show Instagram, you'll see that T-Bone just had an interview live with Jacob Wilcox, and he said he's a little bit under the weather. He surfed pretty well in his elimination heat, but I don't think you can have even a little bit of a head cold when you're about to surf against Elo Fajeda. So that was a hard pass for me. I did take the next heat, though, which I think is which is probably the best heat on the right side of the bracket. Matthew McGillivray and Joao Chianca, neither are afraid of big conditions. I took Matthew McGillivray, who was my initial pick. I feel like he's going to win this heat and do damage on this side of the bracket. Next is Felipe and Jackson Bunch. I really wanted to take Jackson Bunch here. Oh, I did. I take that back. So I have Matthew McGillivray, and on the right side of the bracket, I also have Jackson Bunch. I have Jackson Bunch defeating Felipe. Now remember, Felipe has done well in conditions like this in the past. In 2021, he won, and early on it was pretty big, and he managed to make some heats. But I don't know. I just think Jackson Bunch has more Hawaiian, big wave, sunset type experience, so I took Jackson Bunch. Next up, Ethan and Crosby Colapinto. I don't want to touch that. I think that Ethan will probably make it through that heat, but let's see what happens. Jordy Smith, Edward Grosjean, probably the safest pick in here. And Edgard had a mean finishing move to not get eliminated, and he has potential, but I say Jordy. I'm taking Jordy in a Tier A pick. Next up, Joel Vaughn, Marco Mignol, another rookie grudge match. These guys have been up against each other all season. I would probably, if I had to choose, take Marco here, but that's a tough call. Next one would be Rio Waida and Al Cleland. As I initially picked, I like Al Cleland here. I'm sticking with him, so I'm taking Al Cleland with a Tier B pick. Next, and finally, Jack Robinson, Imai Kalani DeVault. Look at Imai Kalani. He's surfing great. I don't know if you saw his elimination round heat, but he stepped up. Still, Jack Robinson, Tier A, power surfer, enough said. So I'm going to read through them real quickly. My picks are in Tier A, Jordy and Jack. Jack is power. In Tier B, I've got Griffin Colapinto, Matthew McGillivray, Connor O'Leary, and Al Cleland. And in Tier C, I took Ian Gentile, and I also took Jackson Bunch. All right, so there it is, man. Hopefully you get to see this before if it helps you with your picks. And, hey, about 75% of those picks are right and 25% aren't. So I wouldn't copy my picks. Follow your heart, make some good decisions, and good luck with your fantasy team.